Welcome to the Personality Guru. INFJ stands for Introverted, Intuitive, Feeling, and Judging. INFJ is one of the 16 personality types identified by the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, and they are usually reserved but highly sensitive to how others feel. Today, we are going to take a look at the INFJ Personality Type Explained. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to the Personality Guru and ring the bell icon to get regular updates on our latest uploads. And if you like this video, click the thumbs up button and share it with your friends. By developing an understanding of a person's psychological preferences and how the personality trait shapes an individual's worldview, you can better understand yourself and others. And among the 16 personality types, the INFJ personality is the rarest, which is estimated to occur in only 1 to 3% of the population. For many experts, the INFJ personality type is not only the most surprising, but also the most baffling dimension of the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, Mbti, typology of personalities. INFJs place great importance in having things orderly and systematic in their outer world. They put a lot of energy into identifying the best system for getting things done, and constantly define and redefine the priorities in their lives. But on the other hand, INFJs operate within themselves on an intuitive basis, which is entirely spontaneous. They know things intuitively without being able to pinpoint why, and without detailed knowledge of the subject at hand. They are usually right, and they usually know it. Consequently, INFJs put a tremendous amount of faith into their instincts and intuitions. This is something of a conflict between the inner and outer worlds and may result in the INFJ not being as organized as other judging types tend to be. Or we may see some signs of disarray in an otherwise orderly tendency, such as consistently messy desk. INFJs have uncanny insight into people and situations. They get feelings about things and intuitively understand them. As an extreme example, some INFJs report experiences of a psychic nature, such as getting strong feelings about there being a problem without a loved one, and discovering later that they were in a car accident. This is the sort of thing that other types may scorn and scoff at. And the INFJ themselves does not really understand their intuition at a level that can be verbalized. Hence, most INFJs are protective of their inner selves, sharing only what they choose to share when they choose to share it. INFJs are deep, complex individuals who are quiet, private, and typically difficult to understand. They hold back part of themselves and can be secretive. INFJs are distinguished by both their complexity of character and the unusual range of depth of their talents. Strongly humanitarian in outlook, INFJs tend to be idealists, and because of their J preference for closure and completion, they are generally doers as well as dreamers. This rare combination of vision and practicality often results in INFJs taking a disproportionate amount of responsibility in the various causes to which so many of them seem to be drawn. INFJs are deeply concerned about their relations with individuals as well as the state of humanity at large. INFJs are, in fact, sometimes mistaken for extroverts because they appear so outgoing and are so genuinely interested in people, a product of the feeling function they most readily show to the world. On the contrary, INFJs are true introverts who can only be emotionally intimate and fulfilled with a chosen few from among their long-term friends, family, or obvious soulmates, while instinctively courting the personal and organizational demands continually made upon them by others. At intervals, INFJs will suddenly withdraw into themselves, sometimes shutting out even their intimates. This apparent paradox is a necessary escape valve for them, providing both times to rebuild their depleted resources and a filter to prevent the emotional overload to which they are so susceptible as inherent givers. As a pattern of behaviors, it is perhaps the most confusing aspect of the enigmatic INFJ character to outsiders, and hence the most often misunderstood, particularly by those who have little experience with this rare type, due in part to the unique perspective produced by this alternation between detachment and involvement in the lives of people around them. INFJs may well have the clearest insights of all the types into the motivations of others, for good and for evil. The most important contributing factor to this uncanny gift, however, are the empathic abilities often found in Fs, which seem to be especially heightened in the INFJ type, possibly by the dominance of the introverted N function. This empathy can serve as a classic example of the two-edged nature of certain INFJ talents, as it can be strong enough to cause discomfort or pain in negative or stressful situations. More explicit inner conflicts are also not uncommon in INFJs. It is possible to speculate that the causes for some of these may lie in the specific combinations of preferences that define this complex type. For instance, there can sometimes be a tug of war between NF vision and idealism of the J practicality that urges compromise for the sake of achieving the highest priority goals. And the I and J combination, while perhaps enhancing self-awareness, may make it difficult for INFJs to articulate their deepest and most convoluted feelings. Usually, self-expression comes more easily to an INFJs on paper, as they tend to have strong writing skills, and in addition to that, they often possess strong personal charisma. INFJs are generally well suited to the inspirational professions such as teaching, especially in higher education and religious leadership. Psychology and counseling are other obvious choices, but overall, INFJs can be exceptionally difficult to pigeonhole by their career paths. Perhaps the best example of this occurs in the technical fields. Many INFJs perceive themselves at a disadvantage when dealing with the mystique and formality of hard logic, and in academic terms, this may cause a tendency to gravitate towards the liberal arts rather than the sciences. However, the significant minority of INFJs who do pursue studies and careers in the latter areas tend to be as successful as their T counterparts, as it is intuition, the dominant function for the INFJ type, which governs the ability to understand abstract theory and implement it creatively. In their own way, INFJs are just as much systems builders as are INTJs. The difference lies in that most INFJ systems are founded on human beings and human values rather than information and technology. Their systems may, for these reasons, be conceptually blurrier than analogous NT ones, harder to measure in strict numerical terms, and easier to take for granted. Yet, it is these same underlying reasons which make the resulting contributions to society so vital and profound. Beneath the quiet exterior, INFJs hold deep convictions about the weightier matters of life. Those who are activists, INFJs gravitate towards such a role are there for the cause, not for personal glory or political power. INFJs are champions of the oppressed and downtrodden. They are often found in the wake of an emergency, rescuing those who are in acute distress. INFJs may fantasize about getting revenge on those who victimize the defenseless. The concept of poetic justice is appealing to the INFJ. There's something rotten in Denmark. Accurately suspicious about others' motives, INFJs are not easily led. These are the people that you can rarely fool any of the time. Though affable and sympathetic to most, INFJs are selective about their friends, such as friendship is a symbiotic bond that transcends mere words. Personality types. INFJs have a knack of fluency in language and facility in communication. In addition, nonverbal sensitivity enables the INFJ to know and be known by others intimately. Writing, counseling, public service, and even politics are areas where INFJs frequently find their niche. As we all know, the INFJ personality type is the rarest among the human population. This is one of the reasons why the personality of INFJs is so interesting to examine. Now, let's take a look at the INFJ personality type to better understand what these individuals stands for and the personality traits they express. Introversion. The INFJ personality type has a tendency for introversion. On the other hand, people who are characterized as INFJs are often perceived to be reserved and quiet. Instead of preferring to interact with a wide circle of people on a day-to-day basis, INFJs prefer to limit their social interactions. Intuition. INFJs prefer to perceive information through their intuition. So this means that the INFJ personality type tends to focus on the big picture while often overlooking the details. Hence, INFJs are more abstract than concrete and are better able to assess future possibilities than immediate realities. Feeling. When it comes to decision making, the INFJ personality type tends to make decisions based on personal or social considerations rather than mere objective criteria. This also means that logic is not the major driving force behind their decision. Judgment. INFJs orient themselves to the external world by judgment rather than perception. This means that the INFJ personality type prefers planning and early decision making over making choices only when necessary. That's it from us. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give us a like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the Personality Guru for more amazing videos. Don't forget to ring the bell icon to stay updated with our content. See you in the next video.